What's up guys, Boxing IQ again, and I'm back with another video. And today I just want to talk about a topic that I was very interested in. I'm sure you're aware of a young prospect whose name is sheeraz, a young prospect who fights in the super middleweight division. Now I just want to talk about, I see a lot of hype about this sheeraz, which I don't think that he's lived up to. I understand he's the ambassador for Turkey Al-Sheikh. He represents the Riyadh season and what's going on over there. I completely understand that. But in terms of the fighter's skill set, I think there's a huge question mark. And I'm starting to see a lot of people say he's the best middleweight and, he can, he'll be one of the best middleweights. And obviously, I just don't see it. I just don't see it because, yes, he beat Edgar Berlanga. I'll give him the full credit for beating Edgar Berlanga, but who's Berlanga fought? Other than not about 20 tomato cans and one fight with Alvarez. That's it. Who is Berlanga for? And he got knocked out by Alvarez. We all saw that fight. Yeah, he knocked a washed up Berlanga, but I don't think that makes him a great fighter. All Berlanga was a hype job that Top Rank did an excellent job of building. Once he fought semi-decent competition, he was even getting knocked out by bombs at Top Rank. So I'm absolutely not impressed by that win by sheeraz. Second of all, let's talk about the Carlos Adames fight. Now, what I wanted to talk about was sheeraz fighting Janibek. Sheeraz hasn't even been tested yet. He's not been tested at all by anyone that can fight. In my opinion, if he even gets in the ring with Janibek, it's over for him. His career's over. Anything that he's done in his career is just going to be over. He's not going to survive with Janibek. He is not going to survive with Janibek and Holland. There's a reason why he pulled out of the fight with Janibek and fought Carlos Adames, because he knows deep down inside he's not going to survive Janibek. So this is why I think that I personally don't think that sheeraz has been tested yet. So I don't really think you can call him a good fighter or a great fighter yet, because we saw what happened in the Carlos Adames fight. I think in a Carlos Adames fight, he lost that fight. It was not a draw, he lost, but because he's a Riyadh season ambassador, they probably gave him the decision. I was not impressed with what I saw with sheeraz in that fight. Let me know what you guys think. Were you impressed with sheeraz in that fight? Because I wasn't. It was an absolute, fairly one-sided beatdown, but I was not impressed in that fight. And Carlos Adames isn't even he's a contender at best. So if this is a guy that can barely beat Carlos Adames, who's at best a contender, what chance does he have against Janibek and Imhonola? What chance does he have? Janibek's a unified champion. Janibek can punch. Janibek's got the skill set. He's got power. The tools that Janibek has in his arsenal are going to cause too many problems for sheeraz, and sheeraz knows that. That's why sheeraz dropped out of the title shot with Janibek to fight Adames, a fight which a lot of people thought he lost in the first place. So just because you beat Edgar Berlanga, and like I said, Top Rank did an absolutely excellent job. And let me give hats off to Bob Arum and the guys at Top Rank. They did an amazing job at promoting Berlanga. Hell, even I brought into the hype, the 19 knockouts, the I'm a monster. Yeah, I brought into all that as well. But guess what? When competition gets better, Berlanga just couldn't step up. He's all talk, he's all mouth. And when tough gets going in the sport and the competition steps up, Edgar Berlanga, the only thing he's touching is that canvas. We all know that the Top Rank did an excellent job with promoting Berlanga, making him a hype job. So I don't even think I'm going to give sheeraz that credit of knocking Berlanga out, because I don't even see Berlanga as a C-level fighter at best. We really want to see what sheeraz is about. Throw him in with Janibek. Throw him in with Janibek. Why is he not fighting Janibek? If people are saying sheeraz is one of the best middleweights, or sheeraz is a young prospect, that's all cool. He wants to be a world champion. Throw him in with Janibek. Because I know, from my skill set of his sport, that Janibek and Imhonola will be nothing but trouble for sheeraz. If Adames could stick it on sheeraz in God knows how many rounds, sheeraz was barely even throwing in that fight. If Carlos Adames, a C-level contender at best, can do that to sheeraz, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Janibek and Imhonola will probably destroy him, and that's why he dropped out of the fight. He dropped out of the title fight because he knows Janibek is too much. So if we want to see what this guy's really about, tell Frank Warren to put him in with Janibek, because Janibek will destroy him. I don't think he even makes a distance with Janibek, because from what I saw from the Adames fight, if that's the sheeraz that fights Janibek, it's over, and he knows that, and I think a lot of people know that, which is why he withdrew from the Janibek fight. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about sheeraz. I think he's a good fighter. He's a decent fighter. I just think you can't go around calling people one of the best middleweights when they're not, fighting top contenders. At his age, he really should be fighting people like Janibek now to prove himself. A C-level contender like Carlos Adames or a contender like that, it's just not enough. You need to be fighting people like Janibek, you need to be fighting bigger names, or even Canelo Alvarez, but I don't even think he'll be able to win that fight. But that's my opinion anyway. I just think, you know, sheeraz really needs to be fighting Janibek. That would be a really good fight. You know, I'd love to see that fight. Styles do make fights, but I just think after what I saw from the Adames fight, which I thought Carlos Adames won, I just think Janibek Adam Hunter will be too much for sheeraz. But I'd love to see that fight. You guys let me know what you think. I've been interested to make a video about this guy because, you know, he's a prospect coming up. I love the beating. Honestly, love the beating he put on Edgar Berlanga. I think everyone loves to see Big Mouth Berlanga get rocked. You know, we all know Berlanga's mouth is too big and he can't punch anywhere near as good as his mouth is. So I love to see the beating he put on Berlanga. But like I said, Berlanga's nothing but, you know, a dream sold by Top Rank, a dream sold by Bob Arum, and that's what Edgar Berlanga was. And yeah, you know, I think that'll be the end of Berlanga as well. But yeah, sheeraz needs to fight Janibek. sheeraz wins that fight, fair play, you know, the hype's there. I just don't think he makes a distance with Janibek Adam Hunter, because I know Janibek's a top champion. I know Kazakh style was really Kazakh style, and we might be seeing the next up and coming of Gennady Golovkin. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.